Joey, the week of 4th of July just passed. How was your 4th of July?
That was good.
It was good?
Yeah, I had a good time.
Besides from the Mets beating the Yankees 2 of 3?
Listen, we won today. It's all right.
Oh, that's good.
Rubber match.
Rubber match is good.
Okay.
Winning
Rubber
by,
match is good.
Winning by 2.
Listen, we had you that first game. It was just a fluke. That, we got to let the little brother win sometimes,
Yeah, fluke. It's good. It's a good word. Fluke. I think fluke's a fish, too.
Maybe.
I think so. No, I always hit the wrong one. God damn it.
That's the Mets theme song right there.
Yeah. Nope, wrong one. Here we go. Damn. It's the very last one, I think. Right. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for.
Man.
Yeah, fluke's a fish. There we go. Anyways, we did a couple of weeks of spooky. Like, we were on a row with spooky stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the second to last episode before the 200th episode. I think this is 198.
This is crazy.
And then 199 and then 200. And we got to get Nick on board. We got to make sure that we set up a date where all three of us can be back together. It will be the first time in like months that all three of us are together again.
Listen, folks, prepare for a long episode. Nick's notes is going to be... he hasn't let it out in a while, so...
I actually think...
He's going to come with a book.
When he comes back, we can't do like a full-on Nick's notes. It just has to be like a celebratory episode, 200th episode, unless something crazy happens. But
he might have notes on every podcast we've ever done.
He said, "Yeah, let me fact check you on the last 15."
On episode 38, you said.
On episode 182, you said, and I quote, and Nick's note seems to be that it's a lie. That's a lie. But we wanted to. We're like, wow, it's crazy. Like we are midway through the year already.
Yeah, happens quick, man. Time
August,
moves.
September, October, November, December. Yeah, we are, not counting because we have a couple weeks left in July, but we are like midway through the year, and wanted to dabble in some conspiracies. The top 5 conspiracies. Now, I just want to give a 411 to the listeners and the watchers, the viewers. I like to say the watchers, like the show on TV. But some of these were untouchable for us. I don't want to touch it. Joey's not going to touch it.
Yeah. I just
I'll read it.
Hard topics.
I have nothing. I have nothing. Here, give me your phone. I'll read the topics, and but we're gonna kind of like ixnay some of them. But I will give you the top 5 that we researched that came up online, and there's a few of them we're not going to touch, and for valid reasons, we're not going to touch them.
And they're pointless.
They're pointless, and they're not conspiracies that we would feel or deem need to be covered. But these are the most top 5 Googled conspiracies of 2025. So we're going to replace some of them with what we can come up with in our head. But we're going to give you the top 5 most Googled or
maybe leave out one.
Searched up. I'm going to work. I'm going to see how good I am at this now to try to word it a certain way. Ready? Here we go. The dark MAGA plot by tech billionaires, which is already debunked because Elon Musk and Trump are fighting again. Like they made up and then they're fighting again.
This is why I stopped buying calls on Tesla. I was like, I'm just going to leave Tesla alone. It's too volatile.
Well, yeah. So the dark MAGA plot by tech billionaires, a theory that has gained traction, claims Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and other Silicon Valley figures are orchestrating a covert takeover of the United States politics, pushing Trump to choose J.D. Vance as a running mate, which obviously happened, and we have the outcome, and consolidating power under a techno-authoritarian regime. It suggests democracy is being supplanted by a billionaire-led corporate monarchy. Well, Elon Musk is completely out of the White House now, and him and Trump, Trump literally said, I want to deport you, Elon. Deport you. You hurt my feelings. We were friends, and then we weren't friends, and then we were friends again.
You sound like Cartman.
Yeah, it's like a, and now we're not friends no more. He is the worst friend ever. So this is not going to happen. Like this whole.
Well, there's part of that is kind of somewhat. I was thinking about recently. I saw something online about Palantir. You know that company?
No.
It's like a tech company, but like for video surveillance, or not surveillance, just like security surveillance in general of like the U.S. population. Apparently, like they can have everybody have a digital footprint now, and they can report what you say online and track what you say. I don't know, but that was one of the things that I most recently heard.
Really? Well, I don't think this is going to happen. Any of that.
It's a good stock though. It's like it's doing well.
Well, surveillance and technology is always going to be good, especially if it's like, you know, on the map.
Yeah.
This is actually something that I watched the video today on Instagram. Someone I follow. I don't know the guy's plug or a title. He pops up a lot, and he was like, there is a object in space that's coming towards us at a high rate of speed. So it's definitely not like a comet or an asteroid. And throughout the last few,
you say interstellar object, they called it,
something like that, and it's going so fast that it's not a rock or any type of space matter, something more. And then he also included that in the last couple of days or week, people are spotting like mysterious fireballs in the sky, which that could be an asteroid, that could be like a comet. So this actually comes up as number 2, the mysterious radar anomaly over Washington, D.C. A star-shaped object appeared on the weather radar over Washington, fueling speculation of a UFO or secret aerial tech. While skeptics point out glitches of equipment or malfunction, the lack of official explanation has kept conspiracy chatter alive. Now, this was like a video I saw the other day that this object's coming at a high rate of speed. It's not an asteroid, it's not a comet, or whatever the case may be. And, you know, the UFO talk is still lingering. And to me, the UFO talk has been kind of dead. You know, like there's not a lot of UFO talk.
Yeah, it's like right when the UFO talk kicks in, something happens that's in the news that's trying to blind you from. Like simultaneously, things are happening at the same time.
What did we say back in October with the drones? That we ended the episode with like nothing's going to come of it and it's going to be forgotten. Everybody forgot.
No one talked about it.
Everybody forgot about it. And then Trump was asked,
we had like weeks of drones in New York City.
Yeah, and then Trump was asked, what were the drones? And he was like, well, they were allowed to be there. They're not aliens.
They were looking for like we talked about it, that Yakuza
and he will not tell.
Japanese figure who was like bringing plutonium into the United States or some shit like that.
They're not aliens. There's only one type of alien I'm looking for, and it's the type that doesn't have a card to be here. I'm taking care of it. That's all he's focused on right now. So that's it. So that's that. So this one's interesting. This one we can actually talk about because she's a topic of conspiracies all the time. Meghan Markle, right? And I've actually never heard of this. So
who, Meghan Markle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Conspiracy about Meghan Markle's fruit photo. This is a conspiracy.
A fruit photo?
This is legitimately researched. Like the most recent, one of the most.
Did you see the devil photo of the prince? Like kind of like in his background, like is a red photo of Prince Charles, or like a painting rather.
No.
And then like in it, it's almost like an ink blot devil. I swear to God, look it up. We'll put it right here.
I have to find it, so you have to calm down to find it. I've never even seen it. You have to send it to me.
I'll send it to you. It's pretty cool.
I'll do it in the pop. Let's do the pop again. That was good.
Wait. No. I'm off today, man.
You're off.
There we go.
There you go. I think you're dehydrated. I think the Yankees took the life out of you the last few days. But anyways.
That was a close one today, too.
So Meghan Markle, royal watchers have pounced on a recent Instagram snap of Meghan Markle picking fruit, claiming the ripe apricot looks staged or even fake. The odd detail, only one ripe fruit amongst the green ones, okay, now it makes sense, sparks whispers of photo manipulation. So they're basically saying they get on her for a lot of stuff, which I feel bad for in a way, but she's so fake. So she's basically picking an apricot, and all the other apricots are not ripe, they're green, right? Which most fruit are like green when they're not ripe, like bananas. Green card. You see what I did there? Haha, yeah, I'm funny, Elon. That's why people love me. But they're green, so like she had one ripe apricot in the entire green apricot tree or whatever, and people are like that's a conspiracy, like she does fake stuff, which she does, but this is not something that we should dwell on for an entire episode. Like we're just rapid fire, and this is the most like when I research top 5 conspiracies and I'm combing through it, these are the things that popped up.
I feel like when you think about conspiracies, you think about like not what are the trending ones, what are like the all-time ones, you know?
The next one we can actually spend some time on because we didn't touch on this yet.
What is it?
Katy Perry's Blue Origin mission was faked. Faked.
I don't believe it.
Okay.
I do not believe for 1 second that they went to space.
I knew you would like this because you like pyramids in space. Go ahead. Go for it.
They just didn't go into space. I just don't think.
Tell me why, Joey.
All right. So
I knew you would like this one.
There's a pretty good convincing video, but like we've seen with AI and all these other videos, there's a lot of convincing videos online where you just like, oh, was that real? Like, did I just watch something real? And you have to actually go and check to verify whether you watched something real or not. And because they're famous and because he has a space company that's Blue Origin, people are just going to take it at face value and be like, no, he sent celebrities into space. Space is open now to the private sector, and regular average Joes can go to space. They just got to pay a lot of money. Not regular average Joes, because obviously they're loaded. Everyone on that, you know.
Yeah, everybody that went to that.
Everybody went to that.
Every girl.
Yeah, they're of a high net worth.
Yeah.
So apparently, and I don't know if you could look this up, he's suing Katy Perry now or something like that. She was the one who opened the door from the inside, and a lot of people pointed out that the capsule, like anything that's pressurized that's falling from outer space
from the inside
can't be open from the inside. It has to be open from the outside. If you look at all the other capsules, you know, in spaceflight history, they're all like burnt to a crisp. This one's like perfectly on land.
So I was reading that Elon Musk had sent like all these capsules and they come back and they're burnt to a crisp. Now, mind you, Elon Musk is using like great material. He's using high technology.
Yes, SpaceX is definitely like on a higher frontier of space travel than
everything that came back from
Blue Origin.
SpaceX came back burnt to a crisp because you're entering the atmosphere. Now, this goes to question, how far did they go up? Did they go in? They didn't go into space. Remember the dude?
Maybe they just got like to the brink where you could feel zero gravity, but not past.
But you could. Normal people can do that. You understand? Normal people can go to do that. Remember the dude? This is forgotten.
That jumped from space.
Yes,
yes. I remember that. The Red Bull thing.
Yes. The red.
Oh, I thought you were gonna hit the
no,
the clapping.
The Red Bull dude. This is forgotten. I'm just raising the mic. The Red Bull dude. This was something that's crazy. This happened years ago now. I think maybe like 15, 20 years now.
Yeah.
He went into here. Do the thing. Do the thing. Yeah, I'll pull it up. I'll pull up that picture, and he went to the brink of space. Like he was damn near in space. Like he could see the Earth, and he jumped.
It was like the tallest or the highest skydive in history.
Highest free fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
And fucking like plummeted, and like he
passed out while he was doing it. He passed out,
and he woke himself up because he had to fall a certain way. Because if he started falling and rotating, it would be impossible for him to stop rotating
and recover.
And then he can't pull his chute, and if he pulled his chute while he's rotating,
the rotation alone will probably just kill him.
Yeah, he'd be dead before he hit the floor. Like even if he did hit the floor and he was still alive, like it's like done. You're like you wake up and you're like, oh, like where am I? Like you're in heaven, dude. That was stupid. Welcome. That was dumb. Anyways, but he did that, and he was literally like the photos you could see like.
Yeah, they were at the brink. You could see the curvature of the Earth when he was up there.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how far Katy Perry and her...
I don't think they went up there at all.
I don't know. I mean, her Starbucks crew, I don't know how far.
No.
I don't know. But...
also, like, the hair, like, when you look at people in space... in like NASA photos, their hair is like the females, their hair is just everywhere. Only the bottom of her hair was just like kind of like floating.
But is that real?
The top, yeah, that's another thing. Is that
another
real?
Conspiracy. Is that real?
I think some of those clips are real. I think some of it is fake. You know, and for good reason, because like maybe like there's no way to relay the perfect 4K signal or whatever, so they got to fake some shit in a lab to make people believe they're filming up there on the International Space Station. But I feel like we're up there. There's just no way that we're not up in space. That whole the Earth is flat and we're in a what do you call it?
A dome.
A dome, or it's the firmament, right? Like you can't get out of the firmament type of thing. Like there's a theory that we can't leave space, like we can't get into space at all, and I don't buy that, not for a second.
No, I mean we've been to space. That I know we've been to space. Have we been to the moon? I don't know.
Oh, so I think like early on, some of what we saw was faked. And probably because they didn't, they didn't have like the tech to film it up there.
There was a recent video we used on an episode, or I used in a reel, where India sent something to the moon. Yeah. And they were like, and it looked, dude. I mean, the video.
But that's there, India, the video sucks, but
yeah, no, I don't know.
I think when America goes back to the moon, the quality is going to be pretty sick. When we officially decide to go back to the moon and send something there to film. And just look at JPL. If you look up the rover footage from like Mars, those pictures are crazy. Those pictures are so sharp. It's like unbelievable how great those pictures are.
I believe we're at Mars. I think it's not really. I don't know. It depends, but but it's just so mind blowing.
This is a good conspiracy though. Like, are we in space? Besides the Katy Perry thing, right? Like, I think the reason why we faked that.
Save it. So Katy Perry. A lot of people said that she faked it. We're going to get to your next one because we have to replace it with something on here.
Yeah.
But I believe it was like pretty staged because they were all dialed up. You're going to space, you have makeup on. That's like individuals I know that put makeup on to go to the gym. Mm-hmm. Like, what are you doing? You're going to the gym, you're going to sweat, your hair's going to get messed up. You don't need to spend 2 hours to go to the gym. You need 30 minutes to drink that pre-workout, let it kick in, and go to the gym.
That's about it.
That's about it. Like, there's no reason. So they're all dialed up. Suits are fit to the max. Makeup on, hair did. They're in there. She pushes open the door. The fucking capsule comes down. There's no marks on it. Like, you went into space. The capsule is immaculate.
The door opens, and then they're like, no, close the door. And they close the door.
And then she's kissing
and then
the
he
floor.
looked like he was pissed. And then he comes back up to reopen it. But the damage is done because people were already filming from the ground.
Well, the smart people noticed that it has to be pressurized, and you can't open it. That's why when a submarine submerges from the fucking depths of the ocean,
it's enclosed from the outside.
Yeah, the guy on the top that gets it is the one opening.
Shit, even the guy from Ocean Gate knew that. He was like, "Listen, if I'm going to go down there,
oh God, no, they never got to open that door again. Mm-hmm. That whole plan went to pieces.
Yeah, there's a conspiracy that they're still alive. I don't believe it.
No, they're dead. They're dead. They're dead. They are one with the ocean.
But you know what's crazy? They made it down there. They're like one of the only, or he's one of the only people, and a few others, especially on the first trip, at least.
You know, Josh Gates was on that submarine?
Yeah, but he didn't go very deep.
He didn't go deep, and he was like, yo, there was so much wrong. Like, he's lucky. And he's a very likable individual on TV. I like him. I like his ghost stuff more than anything, but he got very lucky. And he was on the documentary.
Yeah, they cut the episode that he did on Ocean Gate. They didn't even air it because they were like, this is going to end in a disaster. Like, he's like, I don't even want to endorse this guy.
Oh my God. Well, I almost dropped your phone. Anyways, here's the next one. Ready? This is that was the Katy Perry one. And the next one is the one we might have to like work around. And I'm going to do a very good job of making sure that we don't drop too much. How can I word this? This was the fifth one too. We're going to replace what you were just about to say with this one. So this is the one that we don't want to touch because we don't like politics.
It's politics, yeah. I don't like politics.
We touch politics if it really falls into a category of health or legit conspiracy where something's up. This is damn, I'm just going to go for it.
No. Leave people on the cliffhanger. Maybe they'll tune in, you know?
No, it's not that bad, though. The title's not that bad.
All right, what's the title?
Gender and MAGA rumors around Idaho shooter Wes Rowley.
I didn't even hear about that one.
I don't even know about this one either. If you guys watch us and are like huge fans, I turned off anything with the news. I don't get. My algorithms are completely changed. They're all health, protein, gym stuff, ghosts, UFOs, conspiracies, and Indians playing crazy games in Bangladesh. winning food oil. That is it. Don't know why that one's on there. It's still on there. We talked about it that one episode. And then I turned on
entertaining.
I turned Instagram on one day after that episode, and lo and behold, some Indian guy was like, "I wonder cooking oil," and that's
crazy.
And that was it.
Shows.
I'm like, whoa. Anyways, yeah. So that's that. But we're gonna replace that one because we're not gonna touch that. We're gonna replace that one what Joey was about to say like 10 minutes ago. So go ahead, Joey, take it away. And that was 5, by the way.
What was it? We were talking about.
I said, hold that thought. It was like something with space.
Oh yeah. Like, have we? That's a conspiracy. Is like that we've never been to space, we've never been to the moon, and that we can't get out of our atmosphere. Like, essentially, we're on a prison planet. Like, that's true.
That makes no sense. I've never even heard that, actually.
Yeah.
Like, that makes no sense. If we can go...
And there are guys that go around trying to get, Buzz Aldrin and all the astronauts that potentially have been to space to swear on the Bible and say that they've been in space, and none of them will do it. And like, I get why they wouldn't, because it's like, like, screw you, like, who are you to question what I've done in my career? So they won't give them the satisfaction kind of thing.
No.
But like, just shut the guy up, put your hand on the Bible, but none of them would do it.
I would say, like, I always say, if I'm telling the truth, I say, like, I swear on my grandfather's grave. Because then I know it's like, I'm telling you the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
I would never do that. And if you don't hear me say that, then you don't lying. Dead giveaway to people who want to know I'm lying out there. But if you did it, and people are questioning it, because that's a high conspiracy now.
Yeah.
Now, do I buy that we can't leave the Earth? No, we shoot fucking there's satellites up there.
Yeah. And check this conspiracy out.
Okay.
The moon is not really a moon.
It's a spaceship.
It's a spaceship. It's millions of years old, and it's been yeah, it's exactly what it is, bro. It's exactly what we think it is. But apparently it's hollow, and something about like a missile crashed. I don't even know the full story, but something crashed into the moon. It might have been an asteroid. It might have been something that we sent, or I'm pretty sure it was an asteroid. Anyway, yeah, it was an asteroid. It hit the moon, and we like observed it, and then we had like instrumentation back then when it happened because we were watching the event, and apparently the moon rang like a bell or something like that.
I did hear this.
Did you hear that?
I also heard that
and they're like, it's hollow, or people have come to the conclusion that the moon is hollow. So the hollow moon theory.
I heard one of the Apollo missions, because I don't know which one, 11, 12, 13, 14, I don't know. Not into space like that when it comes to missions, and Apollo 18, 14, whatever. But one of the missions, supposedly, the astronauts saw something, like they were out there walking around or whatever the case may be, and they saw some, and this might have been the moon mission where they landed, whatever Apollo.
Oh, you saw Moonfall, Transformers with Shia LaBeouf?
No.
There's and this is actually legit. When we first went to the moon, the transmission went dark because I guess the satellite was, and don't quote me on this, something about the satellite not being aligned with our communications to theirs. So there was a empty period in which there were no transmissions, but apparently there was a transmission. It just was cut off, and we used that as an excuse so that we can talk to the astronauts about what they were seeing on another channel. And there is some audio footage about Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong talking about what they were seeing on the moon, that they're here, they're following us, we see them.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah. So that's a pretty.
Why wouldn't they say?
One.
I mean, I guess I know why they wouldn't say it, because then they would bug people out.
It's true.
And then people would be like, well, if they saw something and they're being kept from seeing something, then why aren't we seeing anything, and why aren't they here yet? And that's the question I get from one of my friends, Charlie, all the time. Like every haircut, any UFO news, UFOs are alien. I mean, UFOs are angels. God made them.
I mean,
he goes into this.
Are we really like alone in the universe?
No, absolutely not. It's too big, too vast.
I feel like maybe we're a civilization that can't handle it yet. We're not ready to know that there's life outside of our own existence.
I'm a firm believer from the last 5.5 months that I've come to the equation on a few things, and this is like a multi-fire, multi-category, multi-subject assumption theory that I came up with. A, there is a higher being, undoubtedly.
What if it's an AI from somewhere else?
And it could be, but there is some kind of higher being, because everything that we went through with my dad, and I prayed, I was angry, things like that. I legitimately just, he's still here. There's a reason behind it. People I've met, there's reasons behind that. Things I've gone through at work, there's reasons behind that. There's definitely a higher being. There's some form of things are meant to happen for a reason, and there's things that are going on that are out of our control, and it's either being controlled by someone or something, and things happen. Every decision you make plays a factor. We can't be the only people on this earth, because there's been nights where I look up to
or universe rather.
Universe, yes, universe,
and maybe not even on this earth.
I look up to the.
I got another one about that.
I look up to the sky at night, a lot. Try to zen out, calm my head, and in New York City, you don't see as much as you should if you were in a less light, popular, polluted area. But then, the few stars I do see in certain things, like 4th of July, I was looking up at the skies. I'm like, damn, just think that you look up, you see the sky, and then beyond that, it's infinity. Literally, infinity and beyond. Like Buzz Armstrong. Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, there you go. Wrong Buzz. But it's infinity and beyond. So there's no way we could possibly be. Because that's actually scary to think about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's equally as terrifying to think that there's nothing, and that also that there's something. But people would rather, for some reason, think that there's nothing, because I don't think human beings like to think of themselves as prey. And if there's somebody or some species that's smart enough to get to us, right? We can't get to them. Like, the farthest we can travel is within our solar system. So if somebody can come here from another solar system that's even within our galaxy, right? They're intelligent. That race is crazy smart, and they could potentially wipe us out if they wanted to.
Well, apparently it's already been happening, according to like Leslie and Stephen Shaw. They're here. They
walk among us.
Yeah.
So that segues into the other conspiracy that I wanted to mention, is an either alien or advanced humanoid civilization in Antarctica under the ice. That there's some type of Atlantis-like civilization in Antarctica. Have you heard about that?
I did hear about that, and I can kind of buy into that because of all these like military stories that I hear, and also the fact that Antarctica is pretty heavily restricted for some strange reason. But I mean, who the hell would really want to go there? I mean, that's like if I had a bucket list, that'd be like the last thing on my bucket list. Mm-hmm. Let's go to Antarctica.
Flew. I'm gonna check this out real quick.
Okay. He is Googling. Fingers are going. Joey is.
All right. All right. Antarctica. All right. So there is a general. Was he a general?
I think I heard this story that when he went into he found this tunnel and he went in there, and like guys were getting messed up, and they went in there armed.
Yes. So it's Admiral Richard E. Byrd, and so apparently he flew. It says he led expeditions to Antarctica through the 1920s and the 1950s. So I mean, he's kind of like he's been around.
Been around there, yeah.
Yeah, it says famous flight in 1929. Byrd flew the first person to fly over the South Pole, et cetera, et cetera. But there is a story. I mean, it's going to take me forever to find it through ChatGPT.
But I think the story...
He flew into some sort of terrarium within Antarctica, like flew into a mountainside, and his plane was in this big, giant space in which he was flying over this advanced city. And apparently he landed in this city, and he met the people that live there.
Wow. So the other story I heard was when they went into this tunnel, and there was like beings there, and these military men were getting messed up, and they had to go back out. Like before the scientists went in there with them, like he was.
That's probably part of the lore.
I don't know. I mean, there's these formations and things there, and it's very unexplored. And there's these old maps of what the world used to be like, and you look at them and you're like, why is it like this? Again, graphing maps back then is a lot different from the technology we have now.
Yeah.
I just found out the other day that they use LiDAR to track the distance of home runs.
It's pretty good.
From somebody.
I mean,
that's crazy. So you're using LiDAR for baseball, so that's how crazy technology has gotten. So, and that story was pretty cool, but I can't say too much about that because
now we have accurate data instead of like speculation. Like Mickey Mantle hit a 600-foot home run, apparently. Or it was stopped by the facade.
Now we would really know.
Now we would know.
Yeah,
but honestly, there were so many people that were there at that game that everyone said that he hit the facade in Yankee Stadium. Like, if you think about how far that is, that ball moved.
I mean, also bats were different back then. Balls were made different.
Yeah,
so like the bats were.
The game was different.
The bats were heavier. So if someone threw the ball a little bit faster and he swung that much faster and that much harder, he probably sent the ball. You know what happens? Like, you know what I mean? Like the heavier the bat.
Yeah. Imagine you get Aaron Judge in that era. See what he could do with a baseball.
Forget about it.
To the moon.
Yeah, it's gone. But well, listen. We went through, and unfortunately, the conspiracies have been a little less the last few months, but those are like the top ones of 2025 and one we weren't going to touch. But the big one was the Diddy one, and that ended. I want to end on this note. And I don't want to get too much into it, but he got out of jail. You know, he's going to wait.
Is he out yet?
He's awaiting his sentence. He's still guilty of prostitution and like basically selling for like piece of pimp. He was selling for prostitution, but all the other stuff he got.
It's basically human trafficking.
Yeah, he got let go.
I think they just worded it different.
The big charges he got off somehow, some way, and then people were actually online saying, "See, he never did that. He didn't beat Cassidy.
He did some nasty things." Have you heard some of the testimony in that?
And oh my God, somehow, some way, job. They were like, in my opinion, and this is where I'm ending it off, and this is like, I guess, a bonus one, but in my opinion, they were like, listen, we got to hit you with something, because if we don't hit you with something, people are going to start to question. And if you kill yourself or commit suicide or something happens to you, people are going to question a lot of things. And we're too hot right now, so we're going to let you off on this, and we're going to charge you with this, and then you're going to do community service, and you're going to have house arrest. That's what's going to happen.
I feel like he's going to get at least a year. If they gave Floyd Mayweather a year in prison, he's getting a year in prison.
Well, then he can do a year in prison. He'll be locked up by himself. They'll give him his food back and all this stuff.
They didn't even have good evidence against Floyd Mayweather. They just gave him a year.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There was none. There was no pictures. There was no nothing.
Came out of jail like a champ, bro.
That was crazy.
He went right back into boxing, and yeah, that's it. It did him good. He went in there. Who's gonna mess with him?
Yeah.
Who's messing with Floyd
Mayweather? He did solitary confinement the entire time. Imagine just being by yourself for a whole year. This guy came out when he came out, he had a full head of hair. I was like, I didn't even know this man could grow hair.
Right. That's crazy.
He came out jacked. He's just doing push-ups all day long.
Damn, bro. I honestly couldn't imagine that. That's terrifying. Yeah. But
getting your freedom taken away.
Conspiracies are light, and we have one more episode left before the 200th episode. We're going to try to push that out way before August, and then at some point before August, either the first or second week, we're going to take a little summer break. There will be a Side Talk episode 6 episode out, so we're not going into a complete hiatus. So we'll have a Side Talk episode next week that will drop, and then we'll have episodes 199 and 200, and then summer vacation. And then, of course, when we get into September, we start prepping for spooky season. Mm-hmm. We'll have our Cemeteries of New York series that will start airing on YouTube. We'll start dropping those in September, and that'll be fun. So we have some episodes, spooky season episodes, and then some YouTube extra content. And I go on vacation next week.
Nice.
So I'm just going to relax, chill, try to zen out a little bit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and then we take our full summer break where everyone will be happy. Everyone gets to see each other. I got to get Nick back in here before we do that, though. Mm-hmm. At least for the last 2 episodes before, like the 199 and 200. And then
the send off into
spooky season. And then Nick, hopefully he'll be back permanently, but we'll see. But yeah, so Joey,
that's a good one.
Let's go Mets.
I wish I could. We should not. You got to blur it out. I was like, we should put the picture up that I sent you earlier.
I could put that out. He sent me a picture of a hand with a Yankee little hat on it that he made.
That's a good one.
Listen, I'm happy you guys won a game.
Yeah, we needed that game.
You needed like 6-game losing streak.
There's no way the Mets are sweeping the Yankees. I'm sorry, it's just that's not happening.
Last year we beat you both Subway Series.
Yeah, it's all right. You still
and we didn't have this team.
You guys need like at least 30 something more wins, or maybe even like 25 at this point to tie the Yankees for wins versus losses all time.
Well, we got 50 something right now. So we're close. We had a good season this year. But anyways, if you want to talk about conspiracies that have to get changed because it's a little too touchy, Diddy, Floyd Mayweather Jr., aliens and biodomes that we're apparently living on, you can do that too. All with Spotify for Creators. If you haven't heard about Spotify for Creators, it is the free app that allows you to get your podcast idea
out there.
So if you have a phone, tablet, or computer, head over to Spotify for Creators to get started. Joey, I hope you enjoyed your 4th.
Yes, sir.
Get some time off for yourself before we actually take a real big break. I hope you when I come back we can hit the gym together.
It'll be nice and refreshed. I'll be a little leaner.
Yeah.
Day by day.
Day by day, man. You know what? It's all it's a walk, not a run.
I'm under 220 now. This is a good thing. So now it's going to start flowing.
I'm still 152. I got scared the other day. 4th of July scared me, but I stepped on the scale today. It said 152, but after vacation, on vacation, you'll be hearing me.
You're obsessed now.
You'll be seeing me text.
You created a monster.
Joey, I was good today, but yet I had Cinnabons today. I went for a 14,000 step walk, and when I come back, bro, back to 2,000.
You hear that voice in your head sometimes when you're picking up a cookie? Put the cookie down. Put it down.
That's a good cookie, but it's not the best. Put it down. Yeah, no, I'm going to be a little crazy on vacation, but I am going to enjoy myself. And then when I come back, I'll reset to under 2,000 calories for like a couple of weeks just to reset my body. Reset. And then, enjoy the fall.
Even fast for a day, see how you feel. Sometimes
fasting,
that's nice.
I give up on the fasting, but I will reduce the calories for a couple of weeks and then reset and then go back to my maintenance just to see how I'm at. But
I'm going to see if I could do it. It's like a 3-day fast, no food.
You know what we're going to do? Before spooky season really kicks off, I'm going to have a health person come in. We're going to have a nice little one of those episodes. He's a cool dude. You're going to enjoy that episode.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to talk all the fitness bullshit and some motivation stuff. So it's going to be a little mix of the bullshit and some motivation, health, conspiracies, what you shouldn't listen to on social media, who you should listen to, what to believe, what not to believe. So something similar to what we did to Marco Rivera.
Nice.
But with someone else. So it's going to be fun.
Okay.
But until next time, this is another episode of the Say What Again Billy podcast.